Day one was hard, man. I didn't think this challenge was gonna be easy, but I didn't have any idea of how hard it really was gonna be. I thought it would be like moderate difficulty. So the very first hang, I set my grips. I let my body hang from that bar, man, and I immediately felt the strain, and I could only hold for about 10 seconds. Considering I'm supposed to be doing 7 minutes a day, that's a bit disheartening that I can't even hold myself up there for 10 seconds. Now, this is not an excuse, but I am 6'4" and pushing 240 pounds. I walk around about 235 pounds. Anyone put over 200 pounds, that's gonna be a lot to be just hanging or holding your weight up. But no excuses. I'm excited to see what this does for my strength and all the other benefits that were listed. But yeah, 10 seconds and trying to get 7 minutes in a day, that's gonna be a really long day. I'm gonna be walking up to that bar a lot. And I did. I believe that by the end of that day, I was able to hold close to 30 seconds, about 20 to 25 seconds, almost 30 seconds. I think towards the end I did get a couple of 30-second holds. But man, it was really, really hard. I was feeling it all over. My back actually was hurting, which I didn't expect because I thought it was supposed to help my back. And of course, my grip, my hands and my forearms were really hurting. Not unbearable, I could just feel it. So day two, and I decide to use the hang as a warm-up before I get into my first strength and conditioning session of the day. I decide I'll use the dead hang to kind of loosen things up and get them warm. I start with the straight dead hang where my shoulders go close to my ears, where basically you're just hanging. You're not flexing anything, you're not decompressing your scapula. Then in the second one, I pull my head out of my shoulders and I decompress my scapula, and that's a little more of a strength move. So now that I'm up to about 20-second, 30-second holds, I just alternate those types of hangs. Shockingly, this is just day two, and it's the beginning of day two. I didn't hit 7 minutes yet. I was about maybe 3-4 minutes into that day, into the hangs for that day. I'd say 3 minutes. And then I had to just kind of give it a rest and move to my workout. That day I was doing a CrossFit WOD with some Olympic lifting movements, which was a barbell snatch. Barbell snatches and barbell clean and jerks can be difficult at times depending on how sore I am and the mobility in my shoulders and whatnot. One of the benefits of the dead hang was shoulder mobility through correcting your posture and just giving you an extension in your mobility. As far as hanging like that, it'll help push your shoulders further back, and it's supposed to develop strength in that extension. Now, I would not expect to see strength gains or mobility improvements when I'm like this on the second day. So I'm like a day and a half into this, and I felt very powerful in that movement. Now let's talk about what's hard. My hands are killing me, man. We're into day three, and the calluses on my hands are getting worse. I always have some calluses, but they're getting pretty raw, and my hand itself hurts. I feel like my upper body is developing the strength for these hangs, but with my hands, that's what's giving out my ability to stay longer, to hang longer, is that my hands are just not able to hold because they're starting to feel real raw on that bar. So day three, for me to keep doing this and get the benefits I need, here's what I'm doing in day three. I'm basically going back to kind of what I probably should have did in day one. Instead of going straight into like dead hang with my feet off the ground, I probably should have used some kind of progression. So I am gonna go back to having my toes on the ground and do that and try to stay a little longer and then progress to the dead hang. But I am a little excited to try to do that now after suffering through 2 days of actual dead hangs. My wife suggested that I put on these are bare hand lifting gloves. These specifically go over where your calluses are. So that's what their benefit is. So it doesn't cover your whole hand. It just covers this part, right? And I don't consider this cheating because, again, I'm not trying to make my hands rougher and tougher. I'm trying to make my whole upper body. I'm trying to get all the benefits from my back to my shoulder mobility to my upper body strength. So if I can get my flesh to endure a little bit longer, then the benefits will just be better. So here we are, day three. I'm gonna switch to a modified hang with my toes on the ground, and I'm gonna start wearing these gloves. Keep you posted. So I like to grab like as far over as I can, okay? And of course, don't put your thumbs around the bar, okay? You wanna put all 5 fingers over like you've got these hooks that are just gonna latch onto the bar, okay? And then we'll do the full hang first, where my arms just hang like they're being ripped out. Shoulders get real close to your ears, not using any kind of decompression in your scapula. I'm trying not to use my toes that much, so it's not helping a lot in the sense that I'm not gaining like 30 seconds on my hangs. I think I'm gaining about 10 seconds, so I'm at about 40 seconds, maybe 30, pushing it to 40-second hangs, but it's a little more comfortable. So I'm just wondering at what day I want to switch back to the full hang, maybe day 5, but we'll see. Okay, again, over grip. Now, when I hang, now I'm gonna decompress my scapula a little bit and get my head pulled out. Now I'm engaging my lats to hang. I'm certain that this is the strength element, and the dead hang, where you're just hanging completely, is what's gonna really decompress your spine. Man, I'm telling you, like these gloves are a godsend right now. They are really helping. I don't have to focus on, again, the pain in my hands as far as the pain on my skin. And I think it's really just allowing me to really focus on what this dead hang is supposed to really be doing for me. All right, that's day 3, guys. Day 4 was pretty uneventful, more of the same. Still using the gloves, still hanging by my toes. There were a couple intervals where I did pick my heels up, but it wasn't for very long. Just kind of seeing if my strength was starting to set in a little bit. Day 5, I had to come in. The gym was closed. We close on Fridays. So I came in, but I still had to get my hangs in. So I did come in and knock out those hangs. I was feeling pretty good. Day 5 was a Friday, and usually on Fridays I rest. So I didn't do any other kind of working out. I came in just to get my hangs in. Now, day 5, I actually went without the gloves. I took them off and I went back to hanging. I actually pulled my feet off the ground. So I did feel good doing that. My hands didn't hurt anymore, and I did feel strong enough to actually hang with my feet off the ground by day 5. Day 6, more of the same, just getting my hangs in, being consistent. I'm feeling the strength. I'm hanging without the gloves, and my feet are off the ground. So here we are, day 7. Now, I feel good, okay? My hangs are solid. I don't need the gloves anymore. I'm comfortable getting my grips in. However I'm hanging, whether it's my shoulders depressed or pulling myself out, I am feeling stronger pulling my shoulders out of the hole here and just hanging like this. Now, I didn't gain any hang time. My hang time is still maybe 40 seconds tops. Now, I believe that if I keep doing this, I could get up to a minute. And I do plan to keep doing it. Ultimately, because I do see benefits, and I want to run down the benefits to you real quick. Let's start with this. Let's start with hang time. Now, it was suggested in the video that I watched that 7 minutes is what you should do, 7 minutes of hanging a day. Throw that out the window. I don't think it's necessary, and it's super, super hard. I think 7 minutes would be the absolute threshold. I don't see any need or benefit of doing it longer than that. But I'm saying, I think 3 to 5 minutes a day is sufficient. I did see an incremental increase in my hang time ability, but that's not even a great benefit. The best benefit is how my upper body feels. Doing these hangs, prior to this, I have constant pain in my wrist, constant pain in my forearms, where I use 10 machines, massage guns. It's because of all the boxing and Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and strength training. I just kind of accepted that my forearms are constantly, my grips are constantly under strain. I have to spend a lot of time warming them up and stretching them out. I just have accepted a degree of pain in my wrist. Honestly, not even the full 7 days. like 3-4 days in, the pain was gone. I used to get pain just doing this. I don't have that pain anymore. I believe that hanging is, and pulling, all my body weight pulling, is just kind of pulling all the tightness out of my wrists and out of those bones and letting that stuff breathe and letting blood flow through there. That takes me to my next thing, which are my elbows. I tend to get a lot of pain in my elbows for the same thing, from gripping, from grappling specifically on this side, a lot of chokes and stuff. This elbow just strains a lot. It's to the point where I can't do comfortable tricep extensions. That pain is gone. And one of the things that I saw that is the biggest benefit is shoulder rehab. Getting rid of shoulder impingement or pain in the shoulder that exists here. About 4 months now, I've been dealing with a bicep tendon strain, and it's been causing pain in my shoulder, and then just shoulder pain on top of that. I work around it. I do stretches. I use percussion massagers. I do all these different recovery methods just to keep it functional, but it never quite went away. It's been 5 months. I started to feel it going away 3 days into the dead hangs. Now 7 days into the dead hangs, that pain is completely gone. But the shoulder pain I usually have from, again, all the training modalities that I'm engaged in, that's completely gone. And again, that's from hanging up like this. And I watched something that was basically saying, you're removing that shoulder impingement. So that's of great benefit. Also, shoulder mobility. My shoulder mobility is exceptional now. Let me just give you one asterisk. My back. I don't really know if it was of great benefit to my back. I know that one big benefit that was touted was spinal traction, but there was days it caused more issues with my back. Now my back, I always have issues with my back, so I do a lot of things. I mean, look at my channel, there's a lot of videos about the different things I do. I don't know if my back, I was already dealing with some issues with my back, but it seemed to make my back worse on some days. It seemed to help on other days. But what it has benefited me with on my back, it's not like it got rid of my back pain, but it has improved my posture. And that was a big benefit that was being described by a lot of people. So I think through that, as I'm standing with proper posture, I don't have any back pain. But the hanging motion itself, it could be the way I was doing it, or it could be that I just need to continue doing it, and then I will see the long-term benefits on my back. Okay, so the last benefit, which I'd say is one of the biggest benefits that I didn't see coming, I kind of expected it, I assumed it'd be a benefit. But again, like I said, all the other things that I mentioned before were more important. This benefit is strength. I mentioned it earlier, day 2 or 3, but man, after day 7, or leading up to day 7, my upper body strength is just took a leap. Sometimes there were times I did other challenges where I was trying to work myself up to like L sits and holding positions, like gymnastic holding positions. I still can't do planches, but I just was goofing around with a client yesterday, and I was holding and tried to get into an L, and I was able to hold a strong L sit on the bars and in the rings. Now pull-ups, that's completely changed. On day 1, I can only do 4 pull-ups. And pull-ups has always been a problem because again, I'm 240 pounds. But so ultimately, with no warm-up, my pull-ups have gone. Day 1, I could do 4 straight with my legs straight. Now I can do 8. I assume that over time, that will only get better. Again, I wasn't practicing pull-ups at all this week. As a matter of fact, I did 4 on day 1, and then I just did 8 today. So I didn't expect to see such an increase in my upper body strength by just hanging like that. I expected to see maybe a little, but it was way more than I anticipated, and I was very happy to see that. So in the end, guys, there are so many benefits to the dead hang, and this is something I never even thought that you should do. I just stumbled across a YouTube video, much like I hope you stumbled across this video, and I watched it and it got me curious. And now I'm so excited that I've discovered this, and I will be doing it. It's just such a simple thing to do, and there's just nothing but benefit to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to hit the like button and check out some other videos on the channel. We do a lot on this channel, and I think you'll find something you like. All right, guys, see you in the next video.